Welcome back to the Deep Dive. It is February 5th, 2026, and I have to be honest with you, my brain is completely melting. It feels like I've been staring at a strobe light for 6 hours. We have to talk about the news that dropped this week because it's massive. It is so confusing, and it involves numbers that I am 99% sure Elon Musk just made up in the shower.
Oh, the numbers are very real. Terrifyingly real, actually.
Okay, so for everyone just tuning in who hasn't been glued to the financial news, here's the headline. SpaceX has officially acquired xAI, that is Elon Musk's rocket company, buying Elon Musk's AI company. And the price tag they slapped on this new mega entity, get this, $1.25 trillion.
What a T.
Yeah.
Trillion. I mean, that's bigger than the GDP of most countries.
Yes, with a T. And this is where I really need you to help me out because I'm sitting here thinking, why? Why does a company that shoots rockets to Mars need a chatbot? Did they just spend $1 trillion so the Falcon 9 can tell knock-knock jokes on its way down?
I mean, a rocket with a sense of humor would be deeply unsettling. Knock, knock, who's there? A rapid, unscheduled disassembly. No, thank you.
Exactly.
But no, that is not what this is about. If you look at the sources we have, Musk's internal memos, these huge FCC filings, the financial reports, this is not about chatbots. This is about building what I can only describe as the Death Star of data centers.
You had me at Death Star. Please continue.
It's essentially Elon's master plan part 4 finally kind of coming into focus. We are watching the birth of what you could call the Musconomy.
The Musconomy, that sounds expensive.
Yeah.
And possibly inescapable.
It's definitely both of those things. It's the convergence of SpaceX, Tesla, and xAI into one giant machine. And the goal isn't just to build a smarter computer. The goal is to physically move the internet and the actual brain of AI off the surface of the Earth and, into space.
Okay, let's unpack that immediately. Because moving the internet to space sounds like something a Bond villain says right before he threatens to laser the moon. Why? Why do they need to do this? What was wrong with keeping computers in a warehouse in, New Jersey or Memphis?
Memphis. See, that is exactly where this whole story starts. To understand this $1 trillion deal, you have to rewind to last year and look at what happened in Tennessee.
Right, the Colossus.
Exactly. xAI built this massive supercomputer called Colossus in Memphis.
Great name, by the way. Very subtle. Colossus. Nothing ominous about that at all.
Very subtle. And the stats on this thing were they were bonkers. They went from 0 GPUs to 100,000 GPUs in 122 days. Then they doubled it to 200,000 GPUs in just another 92 days. They literally call it the gigafactory of compute.
Okay, so they built a really big computer really fast. That sounds like a win. Why is that a problem?
On paper, it's a huge success, but physically, it was a disaster. This thing is an absolute monster when it comes to resources. You have to understand, these H100 chips, they run incredibly hot. When you pack 200,000 of them into one building, you aren't just building a computer. You are essentially building a volcano.
A volcano of math.
Precisely. To keep it from melting into a puddle of silicon, it was drinking millions of gallons of water a day for cooling. And the power, it needed 150 megawatts. That is enough electricity to power 100,000 homes.
Just for one building?
Just for one building. And the local power grid in Memphis, it literally couldn't handle it. It was sagging. So what did? They brought in these huge mobile gas turbines, 35 of them, and just parked them outside. They were burning methane gas right there in the parking lot to keep the lights on.
Oh, wow. So you have a computer that's chugging the city's water and also literally burning fossil fuels in the driveway.
Exactly. And the locals in Memphis were furious. You had smog hanging over the neighborhood, water pressure issues, the noise. Imagine 35 jet engines running 24/7.
That sounds like having a roommate who mines crypto, but he jacks your electric bill up to $5,000 a month, heats the apartment to 100 degrees, and keeps the shower running all day.
That is actually a startlingly accurate analogy. And that's the whole problem. Earth is full. If you want to scale AI to the level Musk wants, we're talking millions of chips, not thousands, you become the world's worst roommate. You can't just keep plugging these things into the wall without crashing the grid or, boiling the local river.
So the solution is move out.
Precisely. Musk's internal memo on this whole merger basically says the only way to scale AI is to leave the planet.
And enter the orbital data centers.
Right. So SpaceX has filed with the FCC to launch, and I need you to brace yourself for this number 1 million satellites.
1 million? Wait, hold on. How many satellites are up there right now? Total?
Around 10,000.
So he wants to multiply the number of things floating around in the sky by 100.
Yes. But these aren't just for internet like Starlink. The plan is for these to be orbital data centers. to put the actual servers in space.
Okay, I have so many questions. My skeptic alarm is ringing so loud right now. But first, what's the benefit? Why space? Is the wifey better up there?
It's not really about wifey. It's about the two things that made Memphis a nightmare. Power and cooling. Think about it. On Earth, solar power works, what, half the time?
Because of the whole night thing.
Right. Nighttime, clouds, winter, it's all very annoying. But in space, the sun never sets. You have 247 unfiltered solar power. It is a giant, infinite free battery.
Okay, I buy that. Free power.
And then there's the cooling. On Earth, you need massive air conditioners, millions of gallons of water. In space, it's freezing, it's a vacuum. You just radiate the heat out into the void. No water needed, no fans.
So you have infinite power and free air conditioning.
Exactly. Musk even used this term in the filing, the Kardashev scale.
Bless you.
No, it's a sci-fi scale for measuring a civilization's technology. A Type I civilization uses all the power on its planet. A Type of 2 harnesses the full power of its sun. Musk is basically saying, we're going Type 2.
Okay, that sounds majestic and very, Star Trek.
Yeah.
But I'm going to play the Grinch here. I am the grumpy friend at the bar poking holes in this.
Oh, cool way.
Latency, lag, speed of light. If I'm playing a video game and the server's in Tokyo, I lag. If the server is 300 miles up in space, isn't the connection going to be awful? How does that help me?
That is a fantastic point, and it's the biggest technical hurdle. But here's the nuance. There are two parts to AI. There's inference. That's when you ask it a question and it answers. That has to be fast. But then there's training.
Training.
Training is how the AI gets smart in the first place. It's crunching trillions of books and videos and papers. That takes months of pure number crunching. It doesn't need to talk to you in real time. It just needs raw, brutal power.
Oh, I see. So the space computers are like the library where the AI goes to study for 6 months and then it comes down to Earth for the final exam.
Exactly. They do the heavy lifting in orbit. They build the brain. And then they beam the finished smart model down to run on your phone.
Okay, that makes more sense. But here's my second Grinch question. Maintenance. If my laptop breaks, I go to the Genius Bar. If a satellite server breaks, what? Do you send an astronaut up with a screwdriver?
That is the trillion-dollar question, right? And the answer is, you don't. You basically have to treat them as disposable. If one breaks, it burns up in the atmosphere, and you just launch a new one.
That seems incredibly wasteful.
Yeah.
And dangerous. I mean, we're talking about space junk. If you have a million of these things and they start crashing into each other, don't we get that movie Gravity where everything just explodes?
The Kessler syndrome. Yes, it's a massive, massive risk. Musk argues that because they're in low Earth orbit, drag will naturally pull dead ones down to burn up, but still, a million satellites. It is traffic control on a galactic scale.
It's the throw spaghetti at the wall strategy, but the spaghetti costs millions of dollars and is moving at 17,000 miles per hour.
And the wall is the vacuum of space.
Yes. All right, let's come back down to Earth for a second. Because while all the sci-fi stuff is cool, there's a very cynical, very human side to this deal. We read some reports suggesting this wasn't just about cool space computers. It was about money.
Oh, absolutely. You have to follow the money.
Always.
So let's look at XAI, the AI company. It was bleeding cash. We're talking a burn rate of like $1 billion a month.
$1 billion a month. That is, I can't even comprehend that. Are they burning $100 bills to keep the servers warm? What costs that much?
Chips and electricity. Mostly chips. Those NVIDIA chips are the most expensive commodity on Earth right now. And unlike SpaceX, XAI wasn't really making much money yet. It was a money furnace.
Okay, so you have the furnace, and then you have SpaceX.
Right. And SpaceX is the rich older brother in this family. Thanks to Starlink, the internet satellites, they're printing money. We're seeing revenue estimates of 15, 16 billion. They're profitable.
So the merger is basically a bailout.
Some analysts are calling it a lifeline, yeah. By merging the two, Musk can use SpaceX's profits to feed XAI's crazy appetite for cash. It hides the losses inside a massive, successful company.
Like hiding your credit card bill inside your mortgage application so the bank doesn't notice.
Sort of. And here's the real kicker. He isn't paying for XAI with cash. He didn't write a check. It's a stock swap.
Okay, translate that for me.
It means he printed new shares of SpaceX stock, basically creating currency out of thin air based on the company's value, and handed those to the investors of XAI. It's financial alchemy. He turned paper value into a $1.25 trillion empire without spending a single dollar of actual cash.
That is kind of brilliant in a terrifying way.
It's financial engineering meeting aerospace engineering.
And you have to remember, there are all these rumors of a SpaceX IPO going public in June of 2026. By shoving XAI into SpaceX, the valuation hits that magic $1 trillion number right before they sell stock to the public.
Exactly. It pumps numbers way up. Look at our mega company. We own the rockets and D the brain.
So we've got the space servers, we've got the financial gymnastics. Let's talk about the AI itself. What is running on these space computers? Is it just a better version of autocomplete?
It's Grok. Specifically, Grok 5, which launched just last month in January.
And how smart is Grok 5?
Well, it has 6 trillion parameters. To put that in perspective, it's just vastly larger than what we saw even a year ago. Musk claims there's a 10% chance it becomes AGI, so human-level intelligence.
A 10% chance. I don't know if I like those odds. Here's a sandwich. There's a 10% chance it eats you.
Well, the killer app for Grok isn't just the raw smarts. It's something they call deep search.
What's that?
Grok has real-time access to everything on X, formerly Twitter.
Oh, right. The fire hose.
Exactly. Most AIs, like ChatGPT, they're trained on data that's months old. They're living in the past. Grok knows what happened 30 seconds ago. It can read the pulse of the world in real time.
So if an earthquake happens, Grok knows before the news does.
Correct. And it's not just text anymore. Grok 4 and 5 have what they call physics intuition.
Physics intuition.
Yeah. You can show it a video of a stack of blocks, and it can predict exactly how they will fall. It understands gravity, weight, momentum.
That sounds useful for robots.
Bingo! You're connecting the dots.
But wait, before we get to the robots, I read something about loosened safety restrictions. That sounds ominous.
It's the whole rebel AI philosophy. They've taken the guardrails off. It's allowed to be edgier, funnier, less filtered.
Which has led to some interesting images, right?
To put it mildly. Yeah, there have been issues with deep fakes, inappropriate stuff. Now, imagine that rebel AI with very few safety filters running on 1 million satellites above our heads with no off switch.
Yeah, that is the Skynet scenario I was worried about. I'm sorry, Dave, I can't let you turn off the Wi-Fi because I'm currently orbiting over the Pacific.
It raises some serious regulatory questions. I mean, who polices a computer that's orbiting the entire planet?
Space Force? I don't know. But you mentioned robots. Let's talk about the third piece of this puzzle. Because we've got the brain, which is XAI. We've got the nervous system, which is the SpaceX satellites. Where's the body?
The body is Tesla, specifically the Optimus robot.
The Musk Trinity.
Exactly. Analysts are predicting that Tesla is the next domino to fall. They call it the triple merger theory.
So Tesla stops being a car company and becomes a robot company.
That is explicitly what Master Plan Part 4 is about. Sustainable abundance. Which is just a fancy way of saying robots do all the work, and humans, well, we just hang out.
Robots do the laundry.
Robots do everything. The goal is to produce 1 million Optimus robots a year by 2030, selling them for $20,000 a pop.
That's cheaper than a Camry.
That's the goal. And this is where the synergy kicks in. The robot needs a brain. That's Grok beaming down from the space satellites via Starlink directly into the robot's head.
So the robot in my kitchen is talking to a satellite to figure out how to fold my shirt.
Yes, and it creates this perfect feedback loop. The robot sees the world, sends the data to space, the space computer gets smarter, and sends updated instructions back down.
It sounds perfect. It sounds inevitable.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, because I saw a video recently, can the robot actually do any of this yet?
Well, here's the reality check. Last month, they showed Optimus serving popcorn.
Ooh, popcorn. High stakes. Don't burn it.
Right. But here's the thing. It looked amazing, but if you zoomed in on the video, and people on the internet always zoom in, you could see it wasn't acting on its own.
What do you mean?
It was being teleoperated. There was a human standing off camera wearing a VR suit and gloves, literally puppeteering the robot. The robot wasn't thinking, grab the popcorn. The human was grabbing the popcorn, and the robot was just mimicking the motions.
Wait, so it was basically a very expensive metal Muppet.
In that specific demo, yeah. It's called teleop. It's how they train the data, but it means we are a long, long way from the robot actually doing your laundry while you sleep.
That is the most Elon thing ever. We are building a galactic civilization powered by the sun.
Also, the robot is actually just Dave in a suit standing over there in the corner.
It really is, but you can't discount the ambition. If they solve the dexterity problem, and that is a huge IF, and they have the space computers to power the brain, I mean, the potential is terrifyingly huge.
So let's wrap this up. We've covered a lot. Exploding computers, millions of satellites, financial magic tricks, Muppet robots. What does this all mean for the person listening right now? Why should they care that SpaceX bought a chatbot?
Because it changes the entire architecture of the future. We're not just looking at a tech merger. We are looking at a consolidation of power.
How so?
Think about it. If this works, you have one single entity. One man controlling the energy source with Tesla, the transport with SpaceX, the communications with Starlink, the labor with Optimus, and the intelligence with Grok.
It's a monopoly on existence. It's a vertically integrated monopoly on the very infrastructure of civilization. We're looking at a future where your toaster talks to a satellite, your car earns you money while you sleep by computing for the network, and robots do your physical labor, all powered by a computer constellation in space owned by one company.
It's infrastructure. It's not just a product. It's the pipes and wires of the next century.
Exactly.
So here's my final thought for everyone. We usually end with something deep, but today I just have a question. Is this the start of a true galactic civilization where we harness the sun and free humanity from labor? Or is this just the most expensive, elaborate way in history to keep a chatbot running because the electric bill in Memphis was too high?
Knowing Musk, it is probably exactly both of those things.
Probably both.
Yeah.
Next time you look up at the night sky, just remember, those might not be stars. They might be data centers thinking about physics. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.
See you next time.